What up, y'all? I'm Steve, and we're going to talk about how to replace the dimmer switch in a super server. Thanks a lot for your support in this, and let's get into this. It's fairly easy to do this. First thing you're going to do is go ahead and remove your knob. So with that, just don't pull on it, but I like to put my fingers into it and then just kind of pry it out and then pull it off. The next thing you're going to do is you can leave your heater cover on there. I think it's going to be perfectly fine. And then what you're going to do is you're going to remove your two screens. Then we're going to go ahead and remove, right there you can see the two Phillips screws. So you're going to need two things. You're going to need a Phillips screwdriver and a socket. We will send you a socket ground down for this, but you will need that. So I like to go ahead and do that and let it fall out this way. Okay, so there we go. And so the next thing you're going to do is you can see that your heater's going up in there, all those wires are there, and you can pretty much leave them there. But the next thing you're going to do is go ahead and remove the actual dimmer. And one thing to say when you're tightening this, do not over-tighten the dimmer too much in there. So we'll go ahead and remove that. So that comes out. And then the next thing we're going to do is flip this over. And that we will also send you new feet pads, because you are going to have to remove the pads. So we'll kind of pry it in there. Just be careful. These are definitely on there tight. There's one, two, and again, be very careful on this. As you can see, I'm always pointing away from me. And the trick is to just get it slightly under it, and then you can pry that thing up. Okay, there we go. We got that out. And now we'll go ahead and remove your 4 screws. So keep these separated. Those are your base screws. You're definitely going to want to do that. Remove that one. Now your circuit board is attached to the plastic part of the base here. So we're going to flip that over. Once we get these screws out. And always remember, when you put these screws in, start out really nice and be very careful not to cross thread anything. Okay, so we have all of those out. Now we're going to go ahead and flip this over. Oh, and you have to remove your knobs, and you will have, one has a little piece in there, and that will go on your lights. So those will have to go back on the proper ones. So then you'll just open this up right here. You got these wires there, so you gotta kind of get them over. And so you are on the inside here, and you can see that. And this is a little difficult to open up without separating all the wires, but you can be very careful and slide this over like I did right there, and you can get to this screw. We got to get that screw out right there. So we'll remove the protection, remove this screw, and remove our plate there. And that plate and how it is, that really helps keep the air separated from any electronics. So now you're going to go ahead and unplug this back here, pull that out, and now you're going to go ahead and pull this out through that your little hole there. And it's definitely a tight fit, so you're going to have to get it by the wires. And there she comes. All right, so we have it out now. Now you're going to take your new one, and this one's not bad, so I'm going to take my new one. This is my new one now. I'm going to go ahead and reverse the operation. So we're going to go ahead and stick it in the hole this time, which is easier to do than getting it out. We're going to pull that through, and you're going to plug it in the same way, which the little press part is right there. And you'll hear a little click. And then just kind of pull that back again, feed the wire down pretty much exactly how it was through those two capacitors there. We're going to take our plastic plate and slide that over it. Now remember, this is coming through and you don't have a lot of room there, so you kind of got to really make sure that those wires are through there. You kind of got to pull a little bit, but not too much. And then those wires are going through there. So we're going to slide this in this way. And this is probably one of the hardest parts on this, is just re-getting this back together, because you do have this plate here. There's that wire down there. Okay, so now we got it there. Make sure, again, looking through this, the wires are all in the right place. And we're going to go ahead and put this in. So one thing you don't want to do here is tighten it too much, just enough to get it down. You're just tightening down a piece of plastic there and it'll bow down like this. So just be careful with that. And then once you're good there, you're going to bring this back around, and then you'll take a look underneath. Are all the wires there? Don't know if you can see that. They are. If they're not, you're going to want to tuck them down. You can use a screwdriver. Kind of pull them down if they weren't. Get them in there nice. We'll go ahead and put this plastic piece back on. And if you have to press this new connection wire down a little bit, that's okay. So we'll put that back over there. Now you got to make sure that this retention clip is in there. If you're not back far enough, it'll come out. So you're going to make sure that it's in there just right. I don't have glasses on. There you go. So it needs to go back further into there, so just a little bit goes out, and we are good to go. Now gently hold that over, get your 4 screws, and I like to kind of go back, and once you hear that click, you know it's right, and then tighten it down snugly, not too tight. And just like your car tires, we're just gonna get them all down slightly snug, but not too tight. I just like to keep that habit. So I'm gonna tighten that one down, and remember, not too tight, just snugly. Snugly. It's all nice and snug. Everything's good there. So that is good right there for right now. So now we're going to go ahead and put our dimmer back in. We're going to go ahead and put this in. And this part up here, you're going to want to make sure this is at the top. Otherwise, it's not going to fit down here. So again, it's exactly how you took it out, but we're putting it in there at the top. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and set it down, and we're going to just start this with our fingers. That way we make sure we do not cross there. I'll take that off, and I'll go ahead and tighten this up, and then you can hold this in the back and you can feel it. It'll pull it all the way, so you'll kind of unscrew it in the back and then hold it and tighten it a little bit. Sometimes that's all I need, and I'll do it with just my hands, but I'll show you just a little bit here. One thing is, don't over tighten it. So you're going to go ahead and tighten it, holding that tight in there, snug again, nice and snug, not too tight. And so we're going to go ahead and lay this thing in here, get those wires in there just right, and there you go. Got to make sure all those wires are just right, or she won't fit. So there you go. Sometimes I'm amazed that we were able to get this thing built up, because it is a lot of magical parts that just came together very well. Just absolutely love it. And so once we get there, find my hole. I think I'm in there. And again, on this one, I'm definitely gonna spin it backwards until I know it caught, and then just lightly screw it in. If you feel any like funk, it's getting cross threaded, so just be careful not to do that. And again, do it nice and light. Then the next one, we'll go ahead and insert. Smaller hands are good, or a magnetic tip screwdriver is also nice to have there. So I'm in there, and again, I backed it up just a little bit where it feels good. And then there we go. Threads feel good. And now we're going to just, again, snug it, but not too tight. It only needs to be nice and snug. There you go. That's a new dimmer in there, all in place. Oh, let's not forget our feet. So we will send you a new pack of feet. Go ahead, take them off. We put them on in the little spots for the feet. There's that. And again, remember, we have one that has a little piece of metal in there, and that goes on the light so it can turn on and off. Make sure there doesn't really matter for the light. Then the fan, we'll turn it off. Make sure the knob's pointed this way for that. Then we got our screens. We'll put those back on. Just keep out any dust or lint. And then what I like to do is make sure my knob is off, and then put it where kind of where the factory was, and then just push it on down. Again, push it pretty hard, but not so hard that it's gonna destroy it or something. So there you go, we're back to good. Thanks again for your support. Thanks for watching this. Hopefully it helped. If you have any questions on anything, we're here for this. And again, thanks a lot for being a part of the stream. Elevate, mind, body, spirit.